fast. Okay.
All right. On the count of 3, 2, hi, and welcome to GetSoulStrong.com. This is a true Torah teaching. It is a Randu teaching, and in my opinion, it's a Ger teaching. It's a Yeshiva teaching. All of that equals what we do at Get Soul Strong. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Yes. You're right.
So let's set the record straight on some certain things, because apparently people are not clear on what Get Soul Strong is. All right, let's make it clear. There is something called Facebook, and with Facebook comes Facebook Live and classes posted in Facebook forums. That is not called yeshiva. It will never be called yeshiva. All the more so if a person gives a class on Facebook and can't read Hebrew, it is not called yeshiva. Am I being received here?
So far, yes.
Hello, Mr.
Yes.
Clark, are you with us? Yes.
Yes, I am.
I would go as far as to say if you're not a rabbi or a proper Torah educator that implies Jewish, it's not yeshiva. And if all that's happening on Facebook, that's one genre. Yeshiva is an institution where you go to learn how to learn. It is operated by Jewish people, namely rabbis. There's a big difference between Facebook Live and a yeshiva. When you log on to getsoulstrong.com and come to class, that is a yeshiva by a yeshiva-trained rabbi, whether we like it or not. And those that don't come to class, Mike, how long have you been learning on Get Soul Strong?
Probably over 6 months, right?
Right, and what do I tell you, Jacques?
6 months.
It takes 6 months. Now, Mike, there are a couple of people that, figuratively speaking, signed up when you signed up.
Right.
And those people are saying they don't get much out of Get Soul Strong.
They don't apply
Those people come to class once every 4 months. I never see them in class.
Right.
You come every week, multiple times a day.
Exactly.
Have you grown?
Yeah. Very much so.
So you're getting things out of Get Soul Strong.
Yes, I am.
I can see that myself with you. Now, here's
Yes.
another pop quiz question.
Oh.
How much do we actually discuss dieting and nutrition, and fitness and wrestling and Get Soul Strong?
Never.
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 We discuss Mazel class strictly in the text on Monday night.
Right.
Tuesday night is Zohar Parshas Noach, and we just finished up the piece on Atik Yoimin. Wednesday has been a bit of a hodgepodge. It goes anywhere from Ger class to Daniel to current topics in the Ger world, specifically in the Ger world. In the morning sessions, we've learned anything from Rabbi Nachman, Shituf, Ger Tzedek Sugya, Ger Toshav Sugya, Aaron Soloveitchik, the Lubavitcher Rebbe on Ger, the Mishnah Brura on Ger. List goes on.
Shari Kedusha.
Shari Kedusha. Jacques, Shari Kedusha, is it about diet?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, it's not. But eating can
Yes,
be
it is. It
very,
discusses
very-
when to sleep and how to eat.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, it's... Yeah, okay, you're right.
It's not primarily about diet. It talks about all kind of things like sanctifying events, whether it's going to sleep, davening in the morning, how to eat, when to eat. It covers life from a Kabbalistic perspective. And if I'm not mistaken, eating and diet was one of those things that it talks about.
Yeah, you can't count them out.
No. There's a dictum in the Talmud. All is in the hands of heaven except for hot and cold. I had the audacity to say it's talking about health and food. And we find a Ritva that says it's talking about damaging foods. The rabbis know which foods to eat and which not to eat, for all is in the hands of heaven except for the fear of heaven, and all is in the hands of heaven except for hot and cold. It's not a contradiction. One is talking about mazel, one is talking about preventing bad things from happening to you, aka the things that happen through eating poorly. These are the things we discuss at Get Soul Strong, amongst other things. Get Soul Strong is an online yeshiva that focuses on text. Sometimes current events, mostly text. It's certainly not my own made-up ideas or opinions, or any encouragement to deviate or ad-lib text, to distort the context of text. Too many people that I've seen videos, largely from the Noahide world and the Kiruv world, take great liberties in the text, leaving out key points of text, altering English context of text to suit one's whims. That's a big no-no. In yeshiva, you don't do that. You don't need to do that. Because you go to yeshiva to learn how to learn text. Now, you could argue you guys don't even know Hebrew. So why are you in yeshiva? Because I cover the text with you. Jacques, you're an inquisitive fellow.
Yes.
If I can remember, several times you sent me annoying emails and messages wanting to know what the text says where it's not clear in the English. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Evan Shlema rings a bell to me. The ethics and muster of the Vilna Gaon.
Yes.
So I proved this at Nativ in Houston. Even if we don't know Hebrew, if I pose the question and you meditate on it, you can be what's called miskav into the Hebrew.
Yes.
You can figure it out from meditation. My job is to go back in the text and tell you your accuracy level, which 9 times out of 10 will surprise you for the positive, not the negative.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's a yeshiva group study where we learn text, we meditate, we discuss, we internalize and absorb the material. All for the sake of learning how to learn when the skills and opportunities present themselves. If there's an opportunity to educate how to learn, I will interject every time. Even at the price of interrupting our flow, time constraints, and expectations based on time. And frankly, I don't care about your time schedule. We're here to learn. Whatever learning requires, we do it. One of the rules of Get Soul Strong is we take the long way possible every time. To be thorough and make the learning tight. So this week's Parsha is Vayera. And it's been said that I don't know how to read the Ramdu. Have any of you heard that statement being said?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the Ramdu Hebrew?
Yes.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I would argue it's not. You say I can't read the Hebrew. I would argue it's not even Hebrew.
Yeah.
So let's go through a sample of Ramdu and see if it is Hebrew. Now, are the letters Hebrew? Yeah, well, so is Yiddish. Yiddish is written in Hebrew language, Hebrew letters. Does that mean Hebrew is Yiddish? No. The Talmud is written in Hebrew letters. Is the Talmud written in Hebrew, Jacques?
No.
What language is it written in?
Source language.
Aramaic.
Right.
Oh.
And it's not even real Aramaic. No, Jacques, you're right. It's not real Aramaic. Because oftentimes the Talmud is sourcing. And the source is usually from Hebrew. So you're going to have X amount percentage of the Talmud in Hebrew. Most of it Aramaic. Others not Aramaic or Hebrew. It's more mechanical terms. So these dogmas of we're going to learn in Hebrew, we're going to learn in Aramaic, reading the Hebrew, reading the Aramaic, these are fallacies. And if you believe them, you're being misguided. That's what you learn in Yeshiva. How to conquer text, which I termed Love the Book. The Ramdu starts Vayevra. Vayedaber Elokim el Moshe vayomer elav ani Hashem. V'yera el Avraham el Yitzchak ve'el Yaakov ve'el Shaddai v'shmi Hashem lo nodati lehem. I don't know what you think, but I think I read that pretty good.
I think you did good.
God spoke to Moses and said to him, I am God. I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, to Jacob, with El Shaddai, and my name is Shem, I did not make known to them. I give myself an A. I do say so myself.
Very good.
Behold, the relationship of this parsha with the preceding one. Parsha kodemis matzeinu shehezi v'hekshem Moshe l'daber l'fanav yisbarach shelo kugan. At the end of the previous parsha, we find that Moshe brazenly challenged in his speech before God, not according to the proper level, aka he spoke rough to God. Dayarui la'onish gadol v'nichratz, and he was fit for a massive punishment. And it was decreed, Elishanis Arich. Now's where it gets funny. When I say it gets funny, what do we mean by that, Jacques?
What do you mean funny? Yeah,
Mike?
I don't know.
Repeat
When
the
the
question.
language gets funny, it's not a typical Hebrew problem.
No.
Oh, you
Source.
replaced funny with difficult.
We're running
with funny.
into, huh?
You replaced.
The words are getting difficult. No. When the words get difficult, it's either a source or a change of language, etc., etc.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the word shinisarich.
I'll let them out real quick.
How many of you have ever heard of Erech Anpin in Kabbalah?
Yes.
It means the elongated face.
Correct.
So here shinis arech means extended. The punishment was drawn out, extended. Ki-inyan amram zol. Like the inyan. Jacques, what does inyan mean?
The thing, the essence.
Well, usually it's translated as the thing. What is Shari Kedusha translated as?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, bad midot are a perversion of the inyan of the mitzvah.
Correct.
So if you don't know the inyan of the mitzvah, It's more than the essence. It's what the mitzvah is all about. The
Right.
essence sounds like it's esoteric. The inyan is the prescriptive formula of the mitzvah itself. It's very pshat. The essence could be something very esoteric. You want to know the inyan. So this inyan of Moshe speaking roughly and having it being fit for punishment decreed upon him and having it drawn out is as it says in Chazal. Mr. Clark, where is this written about in Chazal?
No clue.
Why don't you know?
Or the dog was going crazy.
No one knows?
Adopted free.
I don't know.
Well, how about because I didn't tell you?
Yes. That makes
You didn't?
Why didn't there's obviously a lag in the connection. I'm on Wi-Fi because I don't have the internet in my new office yet. So I think that's why there's delayed responses for the listeners on YouTube. Why didn't I tell you, Mike and Jock?
Because you don't know.
Why don't I know?
Because you need to look it up to know.
source it.
Because the Ramdu didn't tell me where the source was.
Right.
He did not. I'll repeat myself in case I wasn't perfectly clear. The Ramdu does not tell me where to look. What is the implication of that?
You've got to work hard to find it.
Yes.
Or I have to be a supercomputer that memorized every piece of Torah ever written.
That's a way.
Now, there are those that say that their rabbis today are the absolute living, what do we say, Mike? The living transmission of Torah, preeminent living transmission of Torah today on earth. Have you ever heard that said?
I've heard it.
Yes.
So that would imply that such a rabbi has learned everything committed to writing. Now, I have a hard disk of 50,000 books, and that is not hyperbole. That would imply such a rabbi has learned proficiently, well, even beyond 50,000 books, because my disc is outdated from 2011. They send me things in the mail all the time if I want to upgrade. I think I don't know, I'm guessing they're around 100,000 books by now.
Wow.
Because every so often they send me an upgrade offer. So let's suppose it is 100,000. Are you telling me a rabbi can learn 100,000 books, memorize them, and memorize the context of every word?
No.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm buying that one. Don't think I'm buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like to kid around. I myself am such a rabbi. The living transmission, da-da-da-da-da. You believe that? I am such a rabbi.
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that? You do?
Yeah.
How do you justify such a bombastic claim, Jacques?
Because you always say, I don't know this word, what it means, and that takes you to go and look it up.
Right.
Very good. It says, like the Indians said in the rabbis, the Ramdu is letting me know it's a rabbinic dictum. Thank you, Ramdu. And then I can kind of retranslate guess. Now you will see, and not wars, 31 kings.
Mhm.
That is not a coherent thought. But that's what it says. Now I can retranslate guess with the best of them. But I'm going to admit to myself, David, I don't think you know what you're talking about. And I'm going to go get my Metatron Google, which empowers me well beyond 100,000 books on tap. And I Google Ata Tire Velo B'Milchemes Shleshim V'Echad Malachim.
Right.
Now, what's funny is the Ramdu writes in shorthand a lot. He leaves out words, meaning he'll give you the beginning of the quote and the end, without any punctuation. So ostensibly, I found this rabbinic blurb in Exodus Rabbah, chapter 5:23. Based on 6:1 of Shemos, Vayom Hashem el Moshe, and God said to Moshe, now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. In the wars of Pharaoh, you will see. And you will not see the wars of 31 kings that I will do for Joshua, your student. And we look in the commentary. This is a hint of Moshe not entering the land. And again, you will see the war of Pharaoh, but you won't see the war of 31 kings as Joshua did. So what was Moses' punishment for speaking rough? He deserved punishment, but not now. He will see this war. Now you will see. Ata Tireh, says the Rambam. But not the wars of 31 kings. What do you think about that, guys? The Rambam took us to Shemos Rabbah, Parsha Hay 23. What do you think about that? No thoughts?
No thoughts.
So the Ramdu doesn't tell us. He edits out part of it. And his edit actually makes sense now that I know the context. Now you will see, but the later wars you will not see. He doesn't tell me where to go. I Google, because technology, for whatever reason, has caught up with super rabbi brain that doesn't even exist today. It's a question of when was the last time it ever did exist. And we understand the pshat in the Chumash through the Ramdu, bringing us a midrash that explains the Inyan well. Now that took me a good 5 to 10 minutes to explain. I will argue every word of that explanation was necessary in order to teach you how to learn. I will also argue it is impossible to retranslate guess so that you can be armed for a class on this without context and explanation. If I were to just read it and translate and you were to teach it, it would sound like this. Parshas Vayera, God spoke to Moshe and he said to him, I am God, and I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, to Jacob. The name of El Shaddai is my name Shaddai, El Shaddai. My name is Shem. I did not make known to them. Behold, the relationship of this parsha with the preceding is that in the end of the previous parsha, we find that Moshe was brazen and difficult as he spoke before Hashem not properly, and it was fit for a great punishment, and it was decreed. Rather, it was extended like the thing that the rabbis say, now you will see, and the wars of 31 kings. What happened?
Well,
What
that doesn't make sense.
Happened?
Good
No,
job,
it doesn't make sense at all.
at all.
No, not at all.
You
And I can
translated it.
say, and I can tell you, Mike, I'll tell you. Well, that's the whole thing.
Oh.
Mm.
And then I can boast about how nobody understands this.
Yeah.
I'm saying what's profound about this is not so much what the Ramdu is literally saying. It's the method, the rabbinic methodology of how he's saying it.
Right.
He quotes the pasuk, gives a quick commentary, explains, brings the perfect midrash without even telling you where, that ties it all together. That took place in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5.5 lines. The Ramdu wrote on the entire Tanakh. Do you realize every line of the Ramdu is that jam-packed with Talmudics and Rabbinics in order to unpack it, to understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as reading the Ramdu. It doesn't exist. I would go as far as to say, even if you had the entire Midrash memorized, and you knew that Midrash, you would still have to explain, as it says in Parsha Shemos, Parsha Shemos, Parsha Hay, number 23. Why, Mike, do I have to say that? Why? Why can't I just read it to you? Why do I have to stop and interrupt the flow? Tell me why. Mike, are you with us?
Yes, I'm thinking that you're having to stop because it's, I don't know.
Well, if you're listening, don't I owe it to you to tell you the source?
Yes. And that's where I was going.
What am I trying to do if I'm not telling you the source? Why would I not tell you the source?
So where's the source?
I owe you that. Then he says, the Goshakain Shinis Arech. All the more so that he extended this punishment. Lefisha Hayem Mitzar al Sarasin Shel Yisrael. And then it gets really hard. Vinila lekalkil velo, ... Al Kain Divrav la something Lamed Ayin Vav. Very hard. The first question is, what is Mitzar al Sartan? Is it Mitzar? Or is it Miatzar? from the language burdened, troubled? Or is it mitzar? Two totally different words. And in my preparation tonight, I'm still not convinced if it's mitzar or miyatzar. Now, how do you read through this like a speed demon and not ask yourself, what is the context of mitzar or miyatzar al tsaras? Because both pshatim make a little bit of sense. And I tried to Google it to see if it was an Iker term, and it's not.
No.
So we can loosely say he was burdened by the troubles of Israel. And I think that's the pshat. Now it says, the Nila lekalkil velo. Now, a Google search took me very, very similar to Jeremiah 20:9. But I did another Google search, and it took me to Megala and Lucas, a very Kabbalistic writing on Job 31:20, or I think 32:21. And it's word for word from the Megala Amukas. And I have no idea what he's talking about. Megala Amukas is a very difficult language, Kabbalistic work. Now, ostensibly, I can figure it out. But am I prepared to jump into the middle of the hardest book in the entire Tanakh, Job, and understand it through the lens of a very difficult Kabbalist, the Megala Amukas?
No.
No, I'm not prepared to do that in 5 minutes. That would be a project. So I'm not sure what Vinila lekalkil velo means. But I can tell you exactly where it's written. Meaning I can tell you where the Ramdu copied and pasted from. Because that's what that is. He knows the Megala Mukis. It's a classic work. He knows that Sefer. Apparently it fits the Inyan. He took it on the Megala Mukas on Job and superimposed it here. Copy, paste. Then he writes ... Elkain Divrav Le'o, which apparently is another verse from your friend Job. And we'll look it up. And there's a couple of sources similar, like in Avadia. The source is in Job. So let's go to the Tanakh and let's search for our word. Divrav Le'o. What did I do wrong? Spelled it wrong. Divrav. Oh, no, I spelled it wrong. Wait, maybe I didn't. 1 second. Divrav Le'o. Now, it's not coming up. Now, that's a good sign. Because I know for a fact that I found it in Job. Let's look it up again. Al Cain Divrav Le'o. And it does come up. For whatever reason, my app didn't bring it up. It's in Job 6:3. Art scroll. Job 6:3. There it is. English. Job 6:3. It would now be heavier than the sand of the seas. Therefore, my words are confused. So, for whatever reason, the Ramdu wants to say, therefore, my words are confused, quoting Job. And I don't know what it means because the Ikr Pshat is from the three words from Megala Mukis that I don't know yet. The next sentence says, Aval al kol panim hakashe elav yeshalim. But therefore, but al kol panim, al kol panim is an Ikr phrase. Therefore, his difficulty on him was paid back. Hizeu atam shadin isayir. This is the reason why the din was aroused immediately. Lahatris kenego. What is lahatris? I'm not convinced I know what lahatris means. Lehat ris. To defy. To defy against him. Now, the project that we're in goes all the way through the next page. Therefore, we've done about a third of this page. That took me about a good hour. Thoughts, comments, or feedback? I'm asking you.
It's not easy made to appear to.
Huh?
It don't seem as easy as it's made to appear to be by others.
No, it's pretty hard.
Yes.
Because I got the Pasuk out. I got the first commentary done. Then when he went into Chazal, I had to locate the Midrash Rabbah, open the Midrash Rabbah, learn the Midrash Rabbah, get the context, apply the context, and only then move on. Then I had to understand the context of Shinis Arech. Was it to be merciful on or extend? And I had to run the meanings through to find out which one was the right one. Then we had to figure out Mitzar or Miyatzar. Then we had to locate Megal and Mukis. And that was no easy task. And then we looked up the words in Jeremiah that are similar. And then the next expression with that Lamed Ayin Vav La'o, Mishlei actually uses that word. It means confusion. We find the word several places in the scripture that it means confusion. So this is an example of the Ramdu. Just like you don't read the Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon is all Rosh Tevis in his Kabbalah. You know, the tick-tick. Initial letters, acronym. No one reads the Vilna Gaon. You decipher the Vilna Gaon. Nobody reads the Ramdu. You learn the Ramdu. You unpack the Ramdu. You source the Ramdu. You look up the sources in the Ramdu. And then you put it back together. And then you read the Ramdu. That's what you do in Yeshiva. You learn how to learn text. You don't read, translate, guess. Any thoughts, comments, or feedback before we sign off?
It's pretty clear.
Yeah, so then what is the Havamina that you can read the Ramdu? Because I'm not chopping.
Because it's not Hebrew. You can look it up.
That's it. It's filled with sources. The Ramdu is sourcing all the time. And when the Hebrew gets hard, it's not a Hebrew problem, it's a source. The only way I can imagine reading the Ramdu is if you've memorized the text and context over 100,000 Sfarim.
Sure. It's totally impossible.
I don't think it's possible.
So I think where people misunderstand you is if you say outright, well, I don't know what this means. Then they say, well, this guy can't even read the Hebrew.
Right.
That's what they would think. What it really means is I have no idea the context. And you can't know the context, for example, this Midrash Rabbah, until you look up the Midrash Rabbah.
Right.
Even if I could guess the context, I'm not going to. It is irresponsible to give it over unless you look it up. How do I know there's not something there I don't know? How do I know that there's not an element of surprise?
I think you can always expect it.
Exactly. There's always another commentary, an opportunity to learn more, a footnote, notations that tell me it's part of a greater sugya. I have no idea what I'm getting into. Why would I deny myself that opportunity to read, translate, guess? Then there are those that find the Ramdu taxing. And rather than give over every nikuda, every word, every letter of the Ramdu, they would rather give over 15%. Not even in order. And then they call it the Ramdu. Rav Moshe David Vali. And they call that true Torah.
That's a misrepresentation.
I call that false Torah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a misrepresentation, it's fraud, and it's false Torah. There's a time for opinions. There's a time for application of wisdom. And there's a time to be diligent in Torah text. Sometimes you don't give over Torah text. Sometimes the class is just a discussion. Sometimes it's current events. Sometimes we discuss how we feel. Most of the time, we are diligent in Torah text. I don't recall Mazel class ever being not text. I don't remember Zohar class ever being not Zohar text. I don't remember Daniel being not text. I don't remember the Ger Sugya being my own opinion. Yes, I give my own analogies to make you understand and myself greater context of the text, such as now. Should we not speak? Should we not explain? Should we not provide context and learning opportunities? Welcome to Yeshiva. It's not Facebook Live. Any final thoughts, comments, or feedback?
It actually is quite liberating because you don't have to know everything.
Right?
And if you know where to go, you can never make a mistake.
That's right.
Because you're just giving it over as it says. The problem comes if you think you know,
Right.
and you start elaborating on your own thoughts.
Right.
Next time it might be different thoughts.
Right.
And you won't be consistent, and it won't be true.
That's it.
It's copy paste.
So this is
Then
the
you-
situation.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Yeshiva does not belong on Facebook.
No.
They're different worlds. And that's why we made the switch or the separation officially. Yet So Strong is a Torah yeshiva with rabbi and students.
Yeah.
Facebook is a social media platform for whatever we want it to be. You can do Torah there if you want. I'm just not. It's not for
Well,
that.
Facebook is opinions.
And you know what? My diet stuff are simply my opinions.
And they belong on Facebook.
That's all they are. What's that?
I said, and they belong on Facebook.
That's it. You can debate my opinions and diet all you want. You can not care all you want. Doesn't bother me. I will argue that my thinking behind my opinions is based on Torah. Svei dinim, as in more than one way.
False.
Good carbs, bad carbs. Svei dinim.
Mm-hmm.
The diet world will argue there's only one kind of carb. That's stupid. Torah
That's the
methodology
same-
works in the sugya.
The shortcut is to conflate, make it one thing.
That's it. It exists in the holy and the secular.
Yeah.
The same laziness of mind.
Yes.
The Torah wisdom is meant for you to live your life with Torah thinking. Why else are you living in this world?
Hmm.
It doesn't make sense to learn Torah, learn how to arm yourself against Shituf and Kishuf, and then go into this world in 3D and be victim to Kishuf and Shituf.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to believe in fake news. It doesn't make sense to get your news from Yahoo News. Torah is supposed to bring you wisdom, and you're supposed to live with wisdom. Wisdom is a very vast subject. So nobody can say, I live my life according to all wisdom. No, you don't. You're trying.
Hmm.
And that's what Facebook is about. Yeshiva is not about that. In Yeshiva, we're not interested in opinions, in vulgar text, in paraphrase, and made up Iker terms that don't make sense.
Hmm. Gotcha.
Then there are those who say, then why aren't you in yeshiva all day? I was. And it's not the truth either. Why? Because we're meant to live in this world. That's what the Jewish people are commanded to do. And the yeshiva world that shuns this world, and they take refuge only in yeshiva, they are not a thriving community. They are not a sustainable community. The secular world without yeshiva is also not a sustainable community. Modern Orthodoxy actually believes in Torah Mada, working and learning. You learn to connect to the divine. You work to make your mark on this world. And I believe in that. Whatever your mazel is meant to do in this world, then you have an obligation to do it. And that's where we'll end class today. Any final thoughts?
Not from my side.
All right. Be well. And today's what? Tuesday? We'll see you for Zohar. God willing, it'll be filmed tomorrow with green screen. I can't promise that, the green screen part, but I will do my best. The finishing touches in the office happen tomorrow.
Okay.
So God willing, I'll figure out how to set it up. Otherwise, we'll do it one last time audio. And then we'll be good to go for recording. But stay tuned for tomorrow and Parshas Noach and the Zohar. Be well.
Right. Thank